There's something quietly magnetic about a woman over 60. She doesn't chase attention, and yet she holds it. She's not trying to impress, and yet she lingers in a man's mind longer than anyone else. When a man truly falls for a woman in this stage of life, no matter how composed or mature he seems, something always gives him away. Not grand gestures, not dramatic declarations, but words, small, unguarded, deeply revealing words that slip out when his heart can no longer hide. The truth is, there are 5 specific words that I myself and countless other men have used when deeply in love with an older woman. Words that reveal not just attraction or companionship, but a soul-deep connection that transforms how we see the future, the present, and even the past. Hi, it's Vernon again. Today, I'm going to share these 5 telltale words with you, explain why they surface unconsciously, and help you understand the ancient wisdom behind recognizing when a man's heart has truly chosen you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I share weekly videos to help you navigate love, clarity, and soulful connection after 60. Let me begin with a word that completely transforms how a man talks about his life. Number 1, we, the unconscious union. When a man truly falls for an older woman, not out of convenience or loneliness, but from a place of deep emotional resonance, one of the first unconscious shifts is in his language. He stops saying I so much and starts saying we. Not just when talking about plans or decisions, but in small, casual ways. We should try that restaurant. We love that kind of music. We're thinking about a trip in the spring. Even if you haven't said a word about it, even if the idea or memory is entirely his, this unconscious switch to we is not just habit, it's a psychological sign of emotional union that in his mind, you're already part of his inner world. Not just someone he's dating, but someone he's including in the story of his life, often without even realizing it. Research from the Center for Relationship Studies shows that the unconscious shift from I to we language is one of the strongest predictors of long-term relationship commitment, particularly in adults over 60 who have learned to value their independence. When a mature man begins thinking in terms of we without realizing it, his heart has already made a decision that his mind may not have consciously acknowledged. This unconscious linguistic shift often surprises women because it happens so naturally and authentically. There's no performance or strategy involved. It's simply the spontaneous overflow of a heart that has found its companion and can no longer conceive of life as a solo journey. If you're wondering whether a man's feelings for you run deep, listen carefully to his pronouns. When his heart truly belongs to you, I begins transforming into we in the most casual conversations, revealing a level of emotional integration that goes far beyond surface attraction or companionship. This unconscious shift to we was beautiful to witness, but it paled in comparison to another word that older men often use that revealed an even deeper level of emotional commitment. Number 2, home, the sanctuary seeker. When a man after 60 begins to truly fall for a woman, he stops searching for excitement and starts searching for peace. That's when the word home starts slipping into his language, and not always in the literal sense. He might say, "It just feels like home when I'm with you," or "I haven't felt this at home with someone in a long time," or simply, "You make things feel easier, more grounded." What he's really expressing isn't just comfort, it's emotional refuge. The great philosopher Martin Heidegger wrote about the concept of dwelling, not just occupying a space, but feeling authentically at peace in it. When a man after 60 unconsciously begins using the word home to describe wherever you are, he's revealing that you've become his emotional sanctuary. This isn't about dependency or clinginess. It's about the soul's recognition of where it can truly rest and be authentic. The word home carries particular weight for men our age because we've learned through experience how rare it is to find someone who feels like true refuge. We've experienced relationships that felt like performance, obligation, or compromise. When we find someone who feels like home, that recognition is immediate and unmistakable, even if we don't consciously realize we're expressing it. At this stage of life, men aren't chasing wild sparks like they did in their 20s. They're searching for sanctuary, for someone who calms the noise in their head, who makes them feel safe being fully themselves, who reminds them of who they are when everything else falls away. Home becomes more than a place. It becomes a person. And when he starts using that word around you, even in passing, he's revealing something deeply intimate, that you've become his emotional anchor, that he can exhale around you, that you're no longer just a companion, you're his peace. Have you ever had someone say you felt like home to them? Or have you ever said that to someone, maybe without fully realizing what it meant at the time? Share your experience in the comments. I believe we all carry pieces of home for someone, sometimes even when we don't know it. But the next word he uses reveals something even deeper. Not where he wants to be, but who he wants to become because of you. Number 3. Forever. The time transcender. I began noticing something strange in myself, a quiet shift in the words I used. I'd always been practical, grounded, focused on the present, but after falling deeply for someone in this later chapter of life, I caught myself using the word forever in ways I never had before. Not in grand, romantic declarations, no proposals, no promises. Just small, unguarded moments. I remember saying I wanted to forever remember the sunset we watched together. Another time, I found myself hoping our favorite little cafe would be around forever so we could keep going back. It wasn't about drama. It was about meaning. About a heart that had quietly decided, I don't want to lose this. Those moments revealed a truth I hadn't yet spoken aloud, that when love finds you after 60, it doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just slips into your vocabulary and quietly asks for permanence. The ancient Roman philosopher Seneca wrote about how love gives us the desire to transcend the limitations of mortal time. When a man after 60 begins unconsciously using forever, he's expressing this timeless aspect of mature love, the soul's desire to make the precious permanent. This phenomenon is particularly meaningful in mature relationships because men our age are acutely aware of time's passage. We've experienced loss, faced mortality, and learned that nothing lasts forever. When we find love that makes us want to reach for forever despite this knowledge, it represents the triumphant hope over experience, of love over fear. The unconscious use of forever also reveals a shift in how mature men process the concept of future. Instead of seeing time as something that diminishes possibilities, love makes us see it as something we want to expand and extend, not for ourselves, but for the shared experiences that have become more valuable than individual existence. Charles's unconscious reach for forever through language revealed something that connected beautifully to another word I heard him use, one that showed how love had transformed not just his relationship with time, but his entire way of seeing. And while forever speaks to the heart's longing to stretch time, the next word reveals something just as powerful. Not about time, but about how deeply a man begins to see you when his love is real. Number 4. Beautiful. The soul seer. The Persian poet Hafez wrote, "I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being." When a man after 60 begins unconsciously calling everything about you beautiful, he's expressing this deeper form of seeing. He's witnessing the light of your being and finding it extraordinary. This connects to something profound about how mature men experience romantic love differently than younger men. Research from the Institute of Human Development shows that men over 60 who are in deeply satisfying relationships demonstrate what psychologists call holistic appreciation, the ability to find beauty in the complete person rather than focusing on individual attributes. When a man over 60 calls a woman beautiful, it's rarely just about physical appearance. At this stage of life, we've seen youth fade, bodies change, and time leave its marks on every face, including our own. So when the word beautiful slips from a man's mouth after 60, what he's really seeing is soul. It's in the way you laugh without holding back, the quiet strength in your voice when you speak your truth, the gentleness in how you listen, the wisdom in your silence, the fire you still carry, even if you think no one sees it anymore. The unconscious use of beautiful also reveals something crucial about mature masculine appreciation. At our age, we've learned to distinguish between surface attraction and deeper recognition. When a man begins seeing beauty in your character, your choices, your way of being in the world, he's revealing that his heart has moved far beyond physical appreciation into soul recognition. This shift in perception often surprises women because it's so comprehensive and unconscious. There's no agenda or performance involved. It's simply the natural result of a heart that has found its match and can't help but see loveliness everywhere it looks. Share this video with someone you care about, a sister, a friend, a daughter, anyone who may have forgotten just how deeply love can see them. Sometimes, the right words arrive when we need them most. And yet, even beyond beauty, beyond time, space, or even presence, there's one word that reveals the deepest truth of all. That a man doesn't just only love you, he misses you when you're not there. Number 5. Lucky, the gratitude revealer. When a man after 60 begins unconsciously expressing his luck at having found you, he's revealing that his heart has achieved this deeper form of wisdom, the recognition that love is always a gift, never a guarantee. You'll hear it in passing. "I'm so lucky I met you. I'm lucky to have this time with you. Others would be lucky to find what we have." He's not boasting. He's not flattering. He's revealing the truth of how he sees you, not as a possession or an achievement, but as a gift. At this age, we've seen too much to take love for granted. We know what it's like to lose, to grieve, to start over. So when we say we feel lucky, it means we know that what we found is rare, and that we don't feel entitled to it. We're grateful. And here's something even more powerful. Lucky isn't just about you being in his life. It's about who he becomes because of your presence. A man who feels lucky to love you is a man who has stepped into humility, into appreciation, into growth. We've lived long enough to know that most relationships involve compromise, accommodation, or settling. When we find someone who feels like a true gift, that recognition creates a constant undertone of grateful amazement. This phenomenon is particularly meaningful in mature relationships because men our age have learned through experience how rare genuine connection truly is. The unconscious use of lucky also reveals something beautiful about mature masculine vulnerability. At our age, we're old enough to know that good things don't last forever, which makes us acutely aware of how precious they are while we have them. When a man constantly expresses his luck at having you in his life, he's revealing both his deep appreciation and his gentle awareness of life's fragility. So, as we come to the end of this video, here's what I want you to take with you. When a man over 60 truly loves a woman, he doesn't always say it in grand gestures or dramatic declarations. He says it in quiet, ordinary moments, with words he doesn't even realize are revealing his heart. We, home, forever, beautiful, lucky. 5 simple words. 5 windows into the soul of a man who's no longer chasing, but cherishing. A man who's no longer trying to impress, but trying to be present. A man who knows that real love, the kind that shows up after the storms, isn't loud, it's steady and sacred. If you've heard one or more of these words spoken to you recently, listen closely, not just to the man, but to your own heart, because sometimes the love you've waited for your whole life doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives gently, wrapped in a word you almost missed. What makes these words so powerful is their unconscious nature. They emerge not from strategy or performance, but from the authentic overflow of a heart that has found its match. When you begin hearing these words slip into a man's casual conversation, you're witnessing something rare and precious, the linguistic expression of a soul that has chosen you completely. Notice not just their grand gestures or conscious declarations, but the small words that reveal the deeper truth of where their hearts have chosen to dwell. These unconscious expressions often tell you more about genuine feeling than any planned romantic speech ever could. Like and share this video with friends who might benefit from understanding these subtle but powerful indicators of mature love. Subscribe if these insights resonated with you. And remember, true love after 60 speaks its own language, and now you know how to listen for it. This is Vernon. Thank you for watching till now, and see you next time.